So first up, we have Scott Locke. Scott Locke and I go way back, and if you're a developer in the Northern Virginia, DC area, you know Scott's name very well. He founded the caparea.net user group, and he's an all-around, generally nice guy. So, Scott, who are you and what do you do?
Hey Frank, long time no see. My name is Scott Locke. I am a co-founder of Inferno Red Technology. I built an app, a couple apps now, but the primary app that we're going to talk about today is the National Zoo app for Windows Phone and for Windows 8. I built those in 2010. They were pushed out into the store over that time on the different platforms. Done a few updates and have roughly 60,000 downloads between the two of them. It's been
2010.
Yeah, late 2010.
Late 2010.
So it's been quite a ride. Like, it was something that I did for my kids, and something that I never thought would change my life the way it has. But it inspired me to start a new company with two partners of mine, Josh Blanchard and Art Lucia, to really build a company that thinks and talks a lot about software development, and in fact has some specialties in Windows Phone, Windows 8, and Azure. So it really is the inspiration for what we started to do with Inferno Red Technology.
So is that what the logo is on your t-shirt?
This is high quality polo.
I'm sorry, polo.
Yes.
Excuse me.
Notice the buttons. Yes. So and the high quality logo. So yeah, that's fair to say. I mean, I got obsessed with Windows Phone and mobile development when Windows Phone started being announced as a possible device. And one of the things that we really wanted to focus on is getting involved with Microsoft's mobile strategy. So we've done everything we possibly can to get on a short list of partners who have experience and are looked to as leaders for Windows 8 and for Windows Phone. So I think we've done that. We've been working with clients on building Windows 8 apps. We just did a proof of concept for with Microsoft for Department of Defense that we're going to hopefully show to them sometime here soon. And we've worked with other clients as well that are really just starting to get inspired and build great Windows Store apps.
That's great. That's great. So the first came the phone app, obviously,
yeah,
because phone came out first. Then came the Windows 8 app. Can you talk about kind of your experience in terms of porting it from one platform to the other? How did you find the differences between them? I know that the first one is obviously done in XAML, and I know that the Windows 8 app is also done in XAML. Do you want to talk about some of the differences and maybe some of the challenges and some of the things you learned along the way?
Yeah, sure. I mean, so the Windows Phone application for me, I wasn't a deep Silverlight XAML guy, so getting up to speed on XAML was part of the challenge for Windows Phone. But once I got the hang of it, and with support from some of my friends who literally have phone numbers that spell out that word, I was able to get through it. And I don't know, I did okay on the design. It seems like people like the look and feel of the Zoo app. It's a pretty app. It's hard to make the Panda look bad on Windows Phone. So when we moved over to Windows 8, the biggest challenge was by far is resolution, because you're going from a standard 480 resolution, I forget exactly what was on the phone, to up to 32-inch monitors. Those are the kind of things that you have to consider when you're building a Windows 8 app. And the easy part is to continue to embrace the content over Chrome perspective, right? Rich, full screen, immersive applications. I mean, that's what the Zoo app's about, and we've actually built our proof of concepts and our other client apps. We follow that paradigm, and that's really what attracts people.
You're watching Frank's World TV. Get old school.
So, do you think you would have had the same kind of visibility that you had? I know that your app has been featured in terms of the Windows 8 Federal launch. Your app has been featured on a number of bloggers. Mary Jo Foley picked up your app.
Yeah, that's cool.
As a great story. Do you think if you had launched into, say, an established store like iTunes or the Google Play, do you think you would have gotten this much attention, or do you think that being a first mover has been a real key strategy for you and your company?
I mean, no question. I mean, it's better to be in the beginning to be a big fish in a little pond, and we knew quickly that pond is going to grow, and we're not huge, but we're a player. So if we had launched into the iPhone, into iTunes or into Google Play, we would have been lost in a sea of applications. Now in this case, the Zoo, even the Zoo app that's actually on iPhone and on Android is not, at least if you look at the outward surface of it, it hasn't done as well as the version we put on Windows Phone. I mean, ours is unofficial, just to satisfy the lawyers. But in the same time, it's about the impact that these apps can have. So, yeah, had we been in the other stores, we would have been surrounded by a ton of noise. And I think that's the part that people miss, right? One of the things that really inspired me for Windows 8, whether you love or hate Windows 8, quite frankly, is the developer opportunity. I mean, I was at Build 2011 when Windows 8 was announced, and when they talked about it's kind of like, is there life in the universe, right? There's billions and billions of stars, and if you divide that in half, I mean, that's kind of what Windows licensing is like, right?
So, just for reference, how old is your company?
Well, we like to say that we have years of experience, over 16 years of experience, but we're about 8 months old as a company.
Wow.
So we will be 8 months here in a few days, but we've doubled our size here in the last month.
So Windows 8 has changed your life.
Well, yeah, Windows Phone. I like to believe that it all started here with one of these devices. It's funny, if I look around this mess of my desk, I have a smorgasbord of devices laying around that are just Windows phones all over the place.
Very cool.
What's laying around here is an old LG Quantum with the slide-out keyboard. So I heard another company announce a phone and say how we love our physical keyboards, and I wanted to hold up a smartphone with the LG Quantum and be like, yeah, we had one of those.
You are now watching Frank's World TV.